Welcome back to Shredder's Revenge. So, alright, let's continue then. Waiting for more players to join real quick. Apparently nobody's... Some players will actually join us later on, so...
If only I'd have known, I could have surprised you guys.
There you go. Alright.
Another vocal song.
Yes. Again, the soundtrack for this game is fantastic as well. I mean, that's not a surprise considering who's involved. But yeah, it really is. One thing that I also like that Thiago even explained in the behind-the-scenes videos is that if you go back and listen to the track that plays in Channel 6, the first level, Thiago actually used the actual notes from the Channel 6 theme from the 80s show, like from the score, I mean. So even the score of the 80s show is being represented in this one. Because it's the first time, like, because usually in the old Konami games, the only TMNT theme they would have proper is the actual 80s cartoon theme, not the actual score from the show itself. Konami's composers would also always compose original music for that. So this is actually the first video game to actually use tracks from the score of the 80s show. So pretty cool.
Yes, yes, because ninjas are well known for yelling that it's ninja time.
Yeah, look, a turtle blimp, and it's flying fast like it should. Sorry, I couldn't resist that. Alright, so basically, as usual, like, the exclamation marks will tell you where the missiles are coming from, basically. Typical.
Also, I like how the game is very clear to let you know when you have failed a challenge in bright red lettering at the bottom.
Yeah, basically, aside from the trophies/achievements, the game also has a challenge system where it's challenges for, like, every possible thing, like throw 3 enemies in a pit, go for this entire stage without getting hit. Like various different challenges. They don't count towards your achievements and trophies. They're just there if you want to do them. So I usually just ignore those.
Again, so nice of them to put them in giant bright red lettering where it's easy to see. I'm sure that won't screw with any perfectionists in the head.
Yeah. Well, restart the stage then, if you failed one.
If I recall correctly, I think this game is relatively fine with the restarts.
Yeah. Like, you can easily press start and restart from either the beginning of the stage or any specific section, because the game actually does have invisible checkpoints.
I wonder, in regards to that, let's say you're trying to go for a no-hit run. Will it let you, like, go back to the last segment you were at? Well, or, you know, like, go the last section of the game, or do you have to, like, restart the whole level?
I never actually tried it. I don't know. I never actually tested that. Why not?
Krang is suffering in this game.
Well, that's the thing, Joe. Remember, all of these villains are trying to help Krang put his body back up together.
Like I said, he seems to be suffering the whole way. Like, Jesus, at this point.
I believe in the 2012 show, the guy who voices Wignut was Adam West.
That's great. That's great.
If only, I don't know, Karai wasn't a thing at this point, in the 80s show.
No, Karai...
I feel Karai is based off Lotus Blossom.
Well, hold on.
Wait, you talk about the girl who apparently had a...
Shredder's... No. They're just talking about Shredder's daughter, Karai. Okay, Dej, Okay, Dej, like, when did Karai made her debut in the comics, specifically?
I think she originated from the 2003 show.
Oh, okay. I was under the impression that she was in the comics before that.
Hey, look, even April's writing it, too.
Yep. So there's another thing, Joe, but like in this one, we actually do indeed have her support, since she's going around beating the crap out of them with us. So...
Actual support instead of verbal support. What a difference.
She appeared in the first City at War arc.
What was
which
that?
Was like 92-ish.
Oh, there you go. Oh, there you go then.
Really, guys?
Because remember, Dej, if you go, remember, Dej, the tournament, the TMNT tournament fighters games for the Super NES and Mega Drive had Karai as the final boss.
Yeah.
So clearly those games took things from the comics, specifically Karai. Because I actually, when I was a kid, my first exposure to Karai was via the Mega Drive version of Tournament Fighters. Because suddenly Karai shows up at the end and like, you'll have to fight me if you want your precious Master Splinter. Like, wait, you mean you're behind us, not Krang? That said, I said, you're toast, Karai. And I'm like, Karai, who's this chick? Because, at the time I didn't know, so. One of these days, since I have the Cowabunga collection, we also have to get around to doing both versions of Tournament Fighters. We already did the Genesis version of Tournament Fighters, but that was years ago. Deji was in that run, but again, it was so long ago. At this point, we might as well redo it.
Tournament Fight. Is that one of those ones where you can play online?
Yes, but I don't think you can play. No, the Genesis version doesn't have online, but you can play online for the Super Nintendo version, which is regarded as the better of the two anyway. So.
Well, I'm trying to remember. I'm not sure Cowabunga Collection has cross-play capability.
I don't know.
I'll see if I wonder if the Cowabunga Collections. I take it you got the PlayStation version.
I have the PlayStation version, yes, but I'm also eventually probably gonna get it on Steam eventually.
I'm pretty sure Cowabunga Collection is also part of the one of the upper tiers. Just checking now. No.
Well, you have it on Game Pass, don't you? Or did you actually buy it?
I think I bought it. Yeah.
Okay then. Because remember, since actually no, never mind. I'm thinking of something else. Yeah, moving on. Oh, look at that. So yeah, the black the Blackfoot soldiers use size like Raph does, and they have higher defenses. So be careful with that. Disgusting bug found. There you go. But yeah, that's the basic gist of it. Yeah. It's one of those things where, I don't think I finished answering. No, Toka and Razor made their debut in the TMNT 2 Secret of the Ooze movie. And if I remember correctly, they never showed up in the 80s show at all. Well, considering that show had Bebop and Rocksteady, adding Toka and Razor to that would be just redundant. So, not to mention Toka and Razor were created by that movie producers because they couldn't put in Bebop and Rocksteady. So, well, it's because if I remember correctly, that you told me Peter Laird apparently had a hand in that.
Yeah.
Because Peter Laird was very adamant about how he hated Bebop and Rocksteady, so which is why they made Toka and Razor instead for the second movie. Oh, look at that!
It's like, I'll show you how to properly make sidekicks.
That's the thing. Like Toka and Razor. I mean, I'm guessing they've made them better in the comics and shit like that. But in that first appearance of theirs, they're not really all that interesting. Like they're not even as fun, comic villains to have.
They're babies mentally, and they cause destruction. Like Karai was like, I need mutants to take over. It immediately backfires. They treat her as her mother, and they were chasing after her, and she wanted them gone.
Konami actually took notice, and they did put Toka and Razor as some of the games, like we've seen. But the 80s show itself never did that. Again, we had Bebop and Rocksteady, so adding those two would have been redundant. Oh, hey, Letterhead.
Yep.
Letterhead, Sultan of the Swamp, ready to chomp. Okay, so Leatherhead's gimmick is that he hides in the sewers and he comes out by one of the other holes, so be careful of that. There we
I
go.
wonder what. I wonder, you know, like in the past year, there were all those memes going around of what creepy anti-piracy stuff would be in a video game. I wonder what this game's version of it would be.
Hmm.
You know, I gotta also add for irony, Token Razor. Yeah, they also ended up in the 80s series eventually too. So.
Oh, did they? What happened? What season was it? I'll have to check it out. Oh, okay, that explains it. See the finger, my finger.
That was before the Darkening, wasn't it?
No. Season 7 was the first one to be the Red Sky season. But it was the last 4 seasons. Season 7. Well, actually, never mind. You're right. No, season 8 was the first one. Sorry, you're right. You're right.
8, 9, 10.
Never mind. You're right. I was getting my math mixed up. You're right.
I wonder how Laird felt about that. All things considered.
It's been a while, and like so I'll have to maybe rewatch the show again at some point.
Seriously, guys, every time we do this, they keep getting away.
Bodacious!
That easily
You've unlocked a special request from the Punk Frogs. There they are. Alright,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, easily distracted. Oh, fuck!
We lost all of our disgusting bugs. Can you guys help us out? Slurp. So basically, if you save all the Punk Frogs, you get to open up their request, basically. Alright, next up, episode 10, A Few Screws Loose. And yeah, these title screens are a little nod to Turtles in Time, obviously.
Yeah, I was gonna make a joke that the turtles would be helping out their fellow reptiles from earlier, but frogs are amphibians, so...
This is basically like the pinnacle. Like when it comes to TMNT scrolling beat 'em ups, like this is basically the ultimate conclusion that we can have. Like I cannot at this point, if this is the last 80s TMNT game, I'd be satisfied. Because I don't think even like if you were to make like a sequel to this game or anything like that, how would you even go about it? Because I feel like this game pretty much has done everything.
What about a TMNT Generations fighting game or something?
Yeah, well, I'm talking about 80s TMNT focused games, like because I feel like after this one, there's not really anything more to do, unless of course you try to take it into 3D or something. But
well, how about TMNT Generations in general? Like you can have the 80s Turtles with the 03 ones and the 2012 ones and the recent series.
Oh sure, I would love to see both Leos interact in a way that's actually sincere. Trust me, I would love that.
There is.
Well, okay, let me rephrase that bit. I'm talking about 2003 Leo and 80s Leo. Like I would love to see those two Leos interact in a way that's actually sincere. That's what I'm saying.
I believe the Paramount CEO said that there is a new TMNT game in development based off The Last Ronin.
Yeah, that's
supposed to be like God of War 2018.
Sure.
Really?
Well, The Last Ronin is meant to be like a very like typical more OG dark tone Turtles, isn't it? So that makes sense. Oh no, sure. Like
which that comic is getting a sequel. I'm like, okay, but how?
Well, hold on. Isn't The Last Ronin comic good though?
Money, that's how.
Yeah. But it ends with the Last Ronin dying. So I'm just like, okay, what are you gonna do next?
Well, maybe the game will take a different direction with the story. I don't know what to tell you.
No. I'm talking about the comic is getting a sequel.
Oh, the comic is getting a sequel. I don't know.
Maybe I'll just focus on different characters then, because apparently they did set that up.
But now, what Blizzard was talking about was a Sonic Generations equivalent of TMNT, where a game where we play as both the 80s Turtles and the 2003 Turtles. Which again, I will be open to that, because if anything, so I can finally see each iteration of the four dudes interact in a better way than they did in Turtles Forever.
Well, I was going for like ones of all the main cartoons, and I wouldn't mind more cutscenes. I wouldn't mind if the 03 Turtles had more cutscenes like what they did with 80 Splinter, for example.
Sure.
Because I think that interaction was like the one even Dislikers of Turtles Forever agreed was good.
It's interesting because I'm sorry. Could you repeat that question, Rose?
Wasn't the 03 Turtles interaction with 80 Splinter
Yes.
the one even people
Splinter.
didn't like?
Yes, 80s Splinter is like the one 80s character they got right, basically. Yeah, sorry, okay. To be fair, yeah, there was also 80s Shredder. So the 80s Shredder and 80s Splinter, yeah.
And Krang.
Yeah, true. And Krang is barely in that, but sure, I guess technically yes, that one too.
And I guess you can say Bebop and Rocksteady, but whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, how do you even screw up Bebop and Rocksteady? I mean,
the 2016 film I thought was okay with that.
yeah, I mean, the movie was still crap for other reasons, but I don't really want to go into a rant about it. But regarding Rocksteady's characterization, that was fine.
Well, that's kind of funny how in that movie one of them was played by Sheamus, and then in the next theatrically released film, one of them was played by John Cena.
Yeah, no.
And John Cena already voiced the character in TMNT. He was the season 1 villain of Rise of the TMNT, Baron Praxis.
You know what's interesting? If I remember, Deji, remind me. If I remember correctly, 80s in Turtles Forever, 80s Splinter and 2003 Splinter never interact, do they?
Nope.
Which is weird because, again, considering they actually get 80s Splinter right, I would have loved to see an interaction between those two. But
100%.
Alright, so this is Metalhead. Basically, as you can probably guess from that cutscene we just saw, an 80s, a robot version of the Turtles to take them down, basically.
I'll admit, I thought it was gonna be Spike, actually.
It was actually, this was actually a very common 80s cartoon trope, where the villain would create a evil robot version of the protagonist to try to take it down. So... there you go. Yes, Jova?
Comment though, I thought it was gonna be Spike, the one who tends to be the evil mutant turtle and stuff.
Oh, you mean Slash? Is that one you're talking about?
Oh, right. He's occasionally called Spike, but yeah, Slash is who I'm thinking of.
No, we're gonna fight Slash later.
Oh, right. As to the 2012 show, they've started calling him Spike.
Is that his proper comic book name?
I don't know. Probably not.
Oh, I know what you're. No. Here's what you're thinking of. In the 2012 show, Raphael had a pet named Spike, and then it got mutated and turned into.
Oh, right.
Okay, guys. Maybe you should stop turning your backs and showing off celebrating, because that's like the 5th time you've done that, and that's the 5th time that Krang escaped with his body.
Let's be honest, they just really want to fight Krang at his strongest.
Yeah, the turtles are really bad at this stopping crime stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically they've stopped crime.
Yeah, but then they let the mastermind escape so he can commit even more crimes.
So yeah, in here this stage is called Dinosaur Stampede, which in this the title implies yes, we're going to fight the Triceratons in this one. There was also another TMNT race that I got introduced to via the video games. Because their appearance in the 80s show was a later point, if I remember correctly. There you go. No, but yeah, it's like Dweb said earlier. This is the first TMNT game to actually have the 80s voice actors. Because every time the Konami would make a game back in the day, they would always have the developers themselves voice the characters. Which is why we get all those characters sounding off like my toes. I mean, to be fair, the developers did a decent enough job replicating the voice tone that show had, so it's not like it was a problem necessarily, but yeah. All right. So basically, these green Transformers have a barrier, so it's recommended you strike them from behind or something. So there you go. Moving on. Level 3. Indeed. You know what's interesting? The Tournament Fighters games is probably some of the most interesting because I never grew up with the Super Nintendo version, even though it's regarded as the best one, and it is. Like if you actually play both games, you'll see that because it's the better made game. Though I do have a really big soft spot for the Mega Drive version because it is interesting way. And I do like the concept of evil clone turtles. So I do like that idea. I also like the voices they gave because in the Mega Drive, in the Genesis version of Tournament Fighters, they reuse clips from the arcade game for the turtles themselves. But the purple turtle clones sound like Cowabunga, and instead of saying Cowabunga, they say Cowabanga. Get it? So I actually do have a soft spot for that one, just because that one got really creative with its plot. All right, moving on. So that's it. But yeah, like Deji said, yeah, we were going to. I was originally planning on having both me and Deji play this, but yeah, it was not meant to be.
Alas.
Indeed.
I'm gonna put this up. Like if you want to get into beat 'em ups, the two games that you should play are this and Streets of Rage 4.
Definitely.
That's the litmus test.
Oh no, that gives me a good like. Let me put it like right now, like I'm honestly convinced that .mu can do no wrong. Like they've published so many great retro games over the years at this point. Like they do such a great job getting the right developers to do these things. There it is. Oh, look at that.
They're falling to the porter a la Turtles.
Yes, yeah, it's mode 7. Yeah. That's the thing that there's actually an achievement for replicating that. So oh, there he is.
Okay, guys, can you beat this guy without turning your backs on the main villain?
Well done, Leo.
So, what's your opinion on the Triceratops?
I prefer T-Rex.
Can't blame him. Triceratops are definitely cool, but T-Rex is king for a reason.
In spite of his,
well, I'm talking about these alien race.
No comment. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. Now they don't turn their backs. but they escape down the hole anyway, so you still got work to do, guys.
I get the feeling that the end is in sight, though.
Is this a running gag in the 80s show when the turtles constantly are too busy celebrating that they have their backs turned to the big villains when they escape?
Indeed. All right.
Oh, it is. Okay.
No. It's morphing in Turtles Forever, but that's another story.
Well, and hey, this game's doing it too. So.
Well, okay, dudes, get ready for next time where we kick Shredder's butt.
If we can find
All right
it,
then.
See ya.
See ya.